TA.
This the Carousel, the host Al Flemings. Came to lock the game like my name Val Demings. Fantasy and flavors,
Yeah.
new edition. The intro to the show is brought by True Ambition. Round and round we go, shouts out to Eric Wilson. Knowledge for your wins, all you gotta do is listen. Hungry for info, food for thought, got all your fixing. You know, FOO, value facts over opinion. 4-3-3-4, my defense beats our system. Injury report,
Flex.
winning while I'm grinning. Dominate the point of attack from the line of scrimmage. For long as you can't beat my squad, go gather all your minions. Carousel,
This
carousel,
is
carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off.
what?
Knock 'em out.
Welcome back to the Carousel, Week 7 edition. How's your fantasy teams? How's your reality team? Are you a Jets fan? I haven't seen you if you are. Baltimore Ravens are making big news. I want to talk to a lot of teams today, but first, I was going to start with Baltimore. Let me start with the mess that is the Dallas Cowboys. Do we have a Dallas Cowboy representative? Is Stacy in the house?
I am.
Talk to me.
Of course, you're going to start off with a hot mess as the Dallas Express right now.
I'd rather start with you than anyone else. Stacy, the floor is yours. Talk to me. What the hell?
Well, so the team lacks discipline. That's at the end of the day. I think that that's all it is. It's not that they don't lack talent because they've got plenty of that. But I have to say it comes. I know I'll probably take some heat from this, but I think it comes down to coaching. Because if you have talent and you have people that have obviously been able to move the ball and to hold on to the ball and to do things, then what's going on there? They have no discipline. Where does discipline come from? Well, that comes from your coach. I think that Mike McCarthy is a smart guy, and he's obviously been very successful before. But I think he's a cheerleader, and that's what we had in Jason Garrett. Is a cheerleader. We need somebody putting those boys out there. Those guys need to be doing burpees right now. They need to be doing suicides. They need to be running the bleachers. And Zeke needs to have his hands glued to the ball the entire week. He needs to tape them on there because you don't get to fumble twice at this level for as much money as you're paid. No, it's not right. But we're just going to say, oh, well, I felt like we were prepared going in. That's not coaching. That at least not the coaching that I expect. It's not what I expect from the Dallas Cowboys. And, at the same time, I go, I've done this for 20 years.
You guys haven't been really relevant or to the NFC Championship game for quite some time. Now, they tried to run out the clock, they being the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray only completed 9 passes. I lost one of my fantasy groups because Kenyon Drake broke a 69-yard run for a touchdown with 1:30 left to go. So where does it start? Obviously, it starts with coaching. But you got a lot of grown-ass men saying things in the back instead of to the face of McCarthy. Now, I happen to have met Mike McCarthy, and I'm not saying I like the guy, but he seems like an approachable guy. Should the team collectively confront Mike McCarthy and tell him about his woes, or is this just a situation that's going to get worse?
Well, I think that Mike McCarthy knows what his woes are right now. I'm not sure he knows how to approach his woes. I mean, I hate when players talk outside the locker room. I hate it whenever they want to go tattletale that the problem is this or that. Sure, they should be grown men and they should go in there and talk to him, I guess. He knows what the problem is. Does he know how to fix it? Well, he didn't know how to with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know how you're going to control a team of divas if you're just going to go and you're not saying anything. And that's a problem. I really appreciated the hire. At the time, I was hoping that he would be another Andy Reid who'd spend a year writing new plays in his basement and come out and be fabulous and awesome and all the things. But we haven't seen any new play calling. We haven't seen anything fabulous or amazing. We saw Dak pick up this team and carry them, but we haven't seen much of anything else.
Megan, let me know what you think about the mess that was Monday night.
Oh gosh. I'm going to start from the bottom and go up, and I'm going to start with the players and then coaching and then GM and owner. My biggest problem was Andy. I know Zeke dropped the ball, but I saw a lot of emotion out of Zeke, and I saw that his frustration and how he was not happy with the results. What I saw out of Andy is he was smiling and laughing as he was throwing the ball into defenders' hands 4 times, and 2 of them got called back. And so he only had 2 interceptions. 2 of them got called back, but directly into the defenders' hands 4 times. I don't think that's a laughing matter whatsoever. And then, Zeke fumbling the ball. He has fumbled the ball 5 times this season, and he had only 5 fumbles in his entire career before this started. So that's major, but I will say that he took responsibility and owned up to that. And so that's what I wanted to see out of Andy, and I did not see that whatsoever.
Ladies, the Washington football team is this Sunday. It doesn't get much lower than this. If Dallas loses to the Washington football team, what's next?
I think that next level is what I was talking about, going from the players then to the coaching. Absolutely agree with Stacey that we haven't seen anything different when it comes to play calling. He went from we were a run team, and now he took us to all passing. So we've got to make a difference on that. And then, Jerry's not going anywhere. He's not letting up on the GM reins. So as much as we want to criticize that, it's not changing. So I see Mike possibly getting fired.
He just got hired.
I know, but I think if he finishes this season like under 7 wins, I think it's possible.
Stacey, you get the final word. Talk to me about your Cowboys.
If we lose to the Washington football team, throw the whole team away and set it all on fire.
Agreed.
Because at this point, the level of talent that we have, it would be absolutely asinine and insane that we lose. Will we? Unfortunately, there is a possibility. Now, our defense is suspect. Our offense is looking awful suspect right now, and we are paying a lot of money for these things, and they are talented. They're talented players. They need to have their Wheaties knocked into them that morning, and they better get out there and play like a mad team they should be. Period.
All right. Last request. Megan, your location and a hot player, and then Miss Ashton, your location and the player that you're watching. Megan?
I'm in Amarillo, Texas, and I think the hot player of the week is going to be LVE. We're so happy to have him back. I think he's going to make a difference for sure.
My name is Stacey Ashton. I'm at a Football World, and you can find us all over the place, footballworld.com, all this stuffs. You guys know. But actual locations, Deep Creek, Lake Marion, gorgeous here. Come visit. Hot player of the week, I think, is going to be Connor Schultz. I think that, Washington has no defense against the tight end, and I think that you're going to see him get a lot of passes this week.
Ladies, thank you and Godspeed.
Thank you.
I'm not a Cowboy fan, but I hope you guys pull out a victory because it can't get much worse.
Bye.
All right. So Baltimore made not one but 2 major moves today. They stole Yannick Ngakoue from the Minnesota Vikings. He was a former Jacksonville Jaguar. Why that's ironic is because they picked up Calais Campbell from the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 5th-round pick. Also signed to their practice squad, Des Bryant, the former Dallas Cowboy. I guess he needed a security blanket at the wide receiver position. Is John Shear in the house so we could talk some Baltimore Ravens football? John Shear in the house? No? That's unfortunate. With that being said, I want to bring in a brand new guest to the Carousel. Can we welcome in Tyrus Ray so that way we can talk some good old-fashioned football? Fine. How about Jerry? Miami, Jerry in the house? Jerry. What's up with the get out? What's up? What's going on here?
Tua time. You got to give it up for the Poly Love, Samoan in the house now. It's time for the Tua Magic to take over. He is the truth,
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. I saw a very ignorant post from the Washington Redskins fan page about how it was borderline. Well, you saw the post. It was ignorant of the post, but how do you feel about Tua taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Man, I'll tell you, during that interview Fitzpatrick gave, I was waiting for Taylor Swift to come out and start serenading us. It's come out since that Tua, Fitzpatrick, and the coach Flo sat down prior to it being leaked to the media that this change was going to happen. Fitzpatrick knew walking in that he had a 2-year lifespan, and as soon as we got Tua was getting out there, and Tua was going to do his magic. So now I'm looking forward to it. Coming off a bye week, he's got 2 weeks to prepare. So tough defense, but over our stretch here over the next 6 games, we've got a nice. I don't want to say too easy, but we've got a schedule that's going to help build confidence, I think, in a rookie quarterback. Side note for history: 1983, Dan Marino, Game 6, started when he started there. So we're Game 6 coming up. So maybe we'll have a little bit of a lightning in a bottle twice.
One last question before I let you go, Jerry, because I see you in all your glory. What's the plan to slow down or stop Aaron Donald?
Man, we've got to have our line setting up nice. Like I've said prior, they've been looking good recently. They've really stepped up the game and been able to hold people. I'm hoping that Tua's younger legs keeps him out of a lot of trouble that Fitzpatrick maybe couldn't get out of. Not to take away from what he's done, obviously. But I think Tua's going to have something there. It's going to be new. It's going to be exciting. And I'm looking forward and holding on for the wild ride.
Right on. Jerry, let the people know who you are, where you're at, and where they can find you.
I'm Jerry V. I'm at every home game. So I'll be down for Tua's opener there. That's going to be great. Game 1 for Tua. Look me up on Facebook, SNS Sports Cards. If you're interested in any sports cards, we got every team you need.
Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, yeah. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.
As I was mentioning before, Baltimore was making some major moves today. I think they're trying to get ready for their big Week 8 matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. John Shearer is in the house to help me break this down. So let's welcome him in.
What's going on, my man?
John S., Journey with the Jays, Baltimore's representative. Talk to me, Mr. Shearer. What the hell went down today?
Yeah, so Eric DeCosta is kind of a genius. He actually traded a 3rd and 5th for Ngakoue from the Vikings. Actually, it turns out that's going to be a 5th-round pick that he only gave up because when Matt Judon walks after the season, when somebody signs him, the Ravens will get a 3rd-round pick in return for him. So basically, he just got Ngakoue for a 5th-round pick, and he's signing Dez Bryant to the practice squad, which is a no-risk move. It can only help the team. He's not going to create drama. There's not going to be problems. So you got Ngakoue and Calais Campbell, both formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars, from Saxonville. So that D-line is getting really scary, and the Pittsburgh Steelers better watch out in Week 8.
All right, so you stole my thunder, but that's why you represent Baltimore. You know better than I do. They basically just sacked Jacksonville. They ransacked them, if you will. They already had one of the best secondaries, and now they have one of the best interior lines. If you're looking at a weakness at the Baltimore Ravens that the Pittsburgh Steelers can exploit, what would it be?
It has to be the receiving core for the Ravens. Obviously, that's why they tried to get Dez, who's only, I believe, about 31, but the injury history, he's obviously older than that body-wise. But the receiving core for the Baltimore Ravens is the thing that we still struggle with. We got Hollywood Brown, but beyond Hollywood Brown, there's really not much more than that. He's stepped up this year, but that's the part of the Ravens that there's still a lot of work to be done. The running game isn't even as good as it was last year. Mark Ingram is a shell of his former self. And J.K. Dobbins doesn't quite look like the guy that they had hoped for yet. So the offense still is trying to get going. It's going to be, I believe, a defensive struggle in Week 8.
All right, let's be completely honest with each other. Pittsburgh, they're coming. You're not worried about Cleveland, and to hell with Cincinnati. You guys are going to split with Pitt, or you guys are going to win this matchup outright? Because I'll be honest with you. Pittsburgh has the best wide receiver core in the NFL. Yeah, I said it. They do.
I mean, Chase Claypool is still a rookie. Deontay Johnson has back issues, and Juju Smith-Schuster has knee issues. And even without the knee issues, he hasn't shown he can play football this year, aside from 2 weeks through 6 games or 5 games. So Juju kind of looks lost. Is that wide receiving core really that good? I mean, Claypool has a small sample size. Deontay Johnson can't stay healthy, and Juju Smith-Schuster, he looks like a shell of his former self, and he's a young guy. So I'm not ready to crown their wide receiving core the best in the league just yet. But I do say that we'll split because these two teams always play each other very hard. And it's a black and blue division for a reason. I think they'll end up splitting. It's always what the Ravens and Steelers ultimately do, but I have the Ravens still winning the division because they're the more complete team, especially with Ngakoue added to that defensive line.
Are you rooting for Tennessee on Sunday?
Yeah, I could root for Yeah, let's go with that. Let's root for Tennessee. I mean, who wants to go up against Derrick Henry? Nobody wants to go up against that guy.
All right. John, please let the people know what you do, where to find you.
Yeah, so you'll see at the bottom, Journey with the Jays is my main podcast. It's a radio show, actually, on Real 1100 AM. You can find that app anywhere you find your apps. That's a radio show in Atlanta. You can check that out. Go to Podbean, search Perch Sports Talk. That's my other podcast. And you'll also find Journey with the Jays on there. YouTube, Journey with the Jays is on there. And all your social media sites, you can just search Journey with the Jays and you'll find us. So thank you, Alex, for having me. I appreciate it. And go Birds in Week 8, after we get a nice rest in Week 7.
Absolutely. All right. I want to welcome someone fresh to the show, a new addition to the Carousel, but he's a sports fanatic just like me. If Tyrus Ray is in the building, let him in. Let him in. Tyrus Ray?
Yo.
Say what? Say it again. Welcome, my friend. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, man?
Hey, it's beautiful Thursday, and I'd rather watch football than the presidential debate. That lets you know how it's going on here. Now,
hey, I'm with you on that.
It's your first time on the Carousel. So you need to let the people know your name, what you do, where's yours.
All right. My name is Tyrus. My name is Tyrus Ray. Some of y'all might know me as Ty Ray on Facebook. Me and a couple of my buddies, the 6 of us, we have a sports show that comes on every Tuesday, 8:30 on Facebook Live. We also streaming live on Twitch too. It's called Say What, Say It Again. You can see from the shirt. It's a podcast too, so we're on Anchor, Spotify, a few other sites too.
All right. Now, who's your squad, sir? Who's your personal squad?
San Francisco 49ers. Why you make that face, man?
I'm glad you said that because I got questions.
Oh, man. Here we go.
I got questions. Since you're a 49er fan, I'm going to start with the easy ones and I'm going to get harder. Let's start with the easy ones. What the hell are y'all going to do on defense, missing Nick Bosa and Solomon Thomas? Number two, when is Sherman and Warner going to come back and contribute to the defense? Number three, are you guys ready for the barrage that Bill Belichick is going to give you guys? And number four, is porn star Jimmy really the quarterback of the future for this franchise?
Woo! All right, first question. From what I've been told, Sherman will be back week 10. Warner, I don't know, but I know Sherman and D Ford will be back week 10. So that's what we're hoping for right now. As far as the defense goes, man, I don't know. I really like the way the corners that we had played Sunday. They played pretty good. As far as them covering the New England receivers, I mean, New England don't have great wide receivers, so I'm not worried about that. I do know that Bill Belichick will do some things to confuse Jimmy. Do I think Jimmy's the quarterback of the future? No. Jimmy is, and I like Jimmy, but I think Jimmy is a Band-Aid. You put a Band-Aid on long enough to fix a problem, then you rip it off. Long term, what I would like to see as far as a quarterback goes for us, I think if Dallas doesn't appease Dak off the injury, I would love to possibly see Dak. Anyone else, at this point in time, I really wouldn't want to go in the direction of a young quarterback, like trying to trade up in the draft. If we couldn't get Dak, I probably would just keep Jimmy because, I mean, he can still game manage.
All right. Now, you currently, because things change, but you currently are at the bottom of the NFC West, even though you just defeated the Rams. Now, you got divisional games coming up with Seattle twice, one more time with Arizona, and a grudge match with the Rams, not to mention the tough schedule. What's the mood like for San Francisco 49er fans? Are you guys on edge or just steady as she goes?
I mean, this year, man, it's been injuries. A lot of teams are missing players. We're missing Pro Bowlers and All Pros. Like we just talked about, I think Richard Sherman played one game. He's out until week 10. Also, we're missing. You touched on it too about Nick Bosa. I mean, we're talking about a Pro Bowl caliber player. Someone that had he had double-digit sacks last year. And I have to look to know for sure. But I mean, him, Sherman, D Ford is out. That's it. That's a pass rusher. Solomon, that's another pass rusher. Kittle's been banged up this year with I want to say it was a knee injury. Morstead, who played pretty good in the Super Bowl and some of the playoff game, he's been nicked up. Deebo Samuel was our leading wide receiver. Now that Emmanuel Sanders is gone, he's been nicked up. So I mean, for us, man, it's been crazy. Even our second string running back is out, Tevin Coleman, and we've been relying heavily on relying heavily on Jeremy McKinnon. Yeah, and Morstead is out again. So I mean, for us, it's just been crazy. And then who else is out? Quan Alexander's out, one of our linebackers. So I mean, it's been a crazy year. I think for us, man, a win for us would be maybe snatching that wild card spot. I don't think we can catch the Seahawks. I think that's unrealistic with all the injuries. I know I was on the phone with a friend of mine earlier, man. Two things I would love to see them do in the draft is I would love if we couldn't get this. Well, not necessarily in the draft. Okay, in the draft, I would love to see a corner. We're not getting no younger with Richard Sherman. I like him, but I mean, he's his own corner. He's not going to lock guys down. But I would love to see us get a big play wide receiver. If we could somehow turn some of the things we got into an Odell Beckham Jr., I would love to see that.
All right. Tyrus Ray of Say What, Say It Again. The banner on bottom is Sports Talk Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Facebook. I'd rather they hear it from your words than the bottom screen. So take your 30 seconds and do what you do.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Say What, Say It Again, man. It's like a barbershop talk, man. It's just a couple of guys. I know all these guys, and we just come together, man, and we just talk about football, basketball, sometimes baseball, sometimes boxing, man. If you come check the show out, man, you'll most definitely have a great laugh. I mean, it's funny. You have a good time.
Carousel. Carousel. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel. Carousel. Carousel, this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
Football brings us together while other things tear us apart. Politics, ignorance, and just regular things going on outside of our control are meant to separate us. But the bond that people have that bring us together is a beautiful thing. With that being said, the AFC West is a war zone. But if we could bring in Denver and then bring in KC and have an actual conversation, I think we could get some things done. John Mizak, that critical Broncos fan, and that critical Chiefs fan, Carrie, KC, how are we doing today?
Fantastic. Thanks for asking.
You notice this isn't going to be a debate because I believe in love, not war, even though you two hate each other. Denver, how is Jerry Jeudy coming along, and what's the plan to attack KC?
Well, I'm hoping for some good deep shots down the middle. I'm hoping, we can see that good route running that he has done, but inconsistent quarterback play has been a issue for us. We had Drew Lock, Jeff Driscoll, Brett Rippon. It's not consistent. And I think without Cortland Sutton, it's harder to get a good passing game going. But I am hoping that he can have his game this week, hopefully 80, 90 yards at best. Still, it's something. I will say for defense that we have to contain Mahomes.
Oh, well, now that's obvious, though. But you guys have another issue. Carrie, how do you feel about the addition of Le'Veon Bell?
I think we just had a preview this last week of what our run game is going to look like. And you're going to see the competition between Bell and Clyde Hilaire intensify and take that our run game, which is really not been strong in a while, and take it to the next level. So I'm not sure who it's going to benefit most, to be honest, but I think you're going to see Le'Veon step up to the plate and bring it at a level he hasn't put forth in a while, because he's going to want to surpass and have those touches that Clyde has been having.
All right, so that critical Broncos fan, no Von Miller, AJ Bouye banged up, no Cortland Sutton. What's the plan of attack, and who do you have your eye on for the Denver Broncos against the Chiefs?
Well, I'm hoping that Shelby Harris, Sylvester Williams, in the interior, because the Chiefs have been injured in the interior. And without Mitchell Schwartz, hopefully Bradley Chubb or Malik Reed or Anthony Chicklow could get some opportunities to get at Mahomes. But I don't think I want to see a lot of sacks coming out of them. I want to see them keep Mahomes in the box. Try to let him beat us from the pocket. He moves a little bit more on the outside. He's been targeting Travis Kelce more. He's looking for that big receiver. We've got to double team him. I don't think I'm worried with the receivers. I want to make sure he contains Mahomes in the pocket and try to at least cover Kelce, not to give him that 100-yard game. That's what I would say.
Carrie.
Yes,
Carrie,
sir.
Over or under 200 yards rushing, and I want a receiver to look out for, not named Travis Kelce.
See, I think Kelce gets covered a lot, so it's going to be hard for him to be there. Over 200. I mean, Clyde himself took 126 or something like that this last game. I mean, the stats kind of escaping me at the moment. And I think we're going to have to watch out for McCall. I think he's ready to show his wheels and take it to the limit. But John, you said you got to cover the receiver. Which one? Because when you've got the Legion of Zoom out there, how are you going to cover all three?
That's true.
Which one are you going to pick out, and which one are you going to shut down? Because the other two will step up. That's where we have the benefit right now.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, and Demarcus Robinson, one of the fastest receiving corps in the NFL.
That is true. They're scary.
Kansas City versus Denver. Thank you. So, speaking of AFC West, I need one. So, if we could bring in JB Ellis, let's talk about this matchup with those Jaguars. JB, what's up?
What's going on, Alex? How's it going, man? How's everything?
How you doing, JB Ellis? At JB_the program. Follow this man on Twitter. He knows what he's talking. Follow this man. Talk to me about the Chargers.
So we're looking good. We had the bye week. Got a week for Herbert to get ready. And, nothing but practice and preparation. He was great against the blitz in his first 4 games. The best quarterback in the league, basically, with some great ratings. He's on the top of almost every passer rating. The only person doing better than him, as a rookie, if you look at some of the stats, were Roethlisberger in a couple of stats, or so basically he's doing his job. Just gotta mix up the run with it. You can't blitz against him. He's great on third down. He has the best third down completion percentage as a rookie right now. He's basically doing everything. He just has to get help around him. The defense is going to step up and do what they do and stop Jacksonville. We should do pretty well.
All right, let me ask you a real question. Let's say I'm fantasy desperate for wide receivers. Keenan Allen can't be trusted. He might be back, but he might still be injured. Do I pick up Jalen Guyton? Do I pick up Ty Johnson? Do I take a chance on Hunter Henry? Who is hot versus the Jacksonville Jaguars this week in your mind?
I like Guyton. He's got the speed. It's a boom or bust play. If they get him the ball and he can get out there, he can get you a lot of points, a couple of deep passes. And the way Haber is throwing the ball, you have a shot for a really nice day.
All right, Justin Jackson, he's questionable in my Yahoo Fantasy League. What the hell, bro? Is he playing or is it going to be Kelly?
I think Justin Jackson's going to be in the lineup. I think he's okay.
He's okay.
For what
We're 2 weeks away from Austin Eckler coming back. When Eckler comes back, is it going to be him or is it going to be a workload, a share, if you will?
I think for the first 2 weeks when he's back, they're going to share it to make sure he's healthy and good, because he's important, because he could do so many different things. You don't want to rush him back too quickly. But once he gets back in the lineup and ready to go, I think he's going to take over the responsibility with some good complementary backs to give him time off when he needs it to just make them even better.
All right. You like Guyton, and you know what? I agree with you. I think there's something about Guyton. They're playing the Jags, who I got to cover last week. Like, oh my goodness. Speaking of covered, poor DJ Shark, he had a hard day last Sunday. But that's neither here nor there. So tell me, Herbert, over under 300 yards and how many touchdowns?
I'm going to say 303. Over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Ooh,
I like him
hot.
this week. Yeah, I think he's going to have a great week.
I like that defense this week too. Hey, JB, let the people know where to find you on Twitter, what you do. Floor's yours.
Definitely. Follow me at JB_the program. I host the program on the Believe. Yeah, I host the program on the Believe Network, as well as Journey with the Jays on Real 1100 in Atlanta, Facebook Live on Tuesday nights, and on YouTube as well.
Thank you, sir. Hey, one love, and watch out for those charges. Now we're moving from the AFC West to the NFC South. Somebody else was coming off of their bye, and they got a primetime matchup against the defending champion Saints. Can we bring in our Carolina Panther representative, Miss Jen Lewis?
What up, Alex? How you doing tonight, my friend?
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that view. That's so nice.
Right? I love sitting out here. Like, I had to totally, steal your view idea when you did it at the stadium a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I got a pretty killer view on my back porch. I can sit on my bouncy ball.
Damn right, damn right. All right, now let's get down to business. Chicago came in, handled their business against Teddy Two Gloves, and like I mentioned, they had to jump on them early because Carolina came back. It's a little bit different now because now you're facing an opponent that you're quite familiar with. Teddy spent a lot of time in the New Orleans Saints system, and this is a division rival, so there's no love lost. Talk to me about these Saints.
So I'm not that concerned because it came out yesterday. Michael Thomas is actually out this week. So that's good because we know how Drew does without Mikey Boy. So that doesn't scare me. We might have a fighting chance. Also, last week, I don't know if you watched any of the Panthers-Bears games or not, but for the first 3 quarters, it was primarily field goals from both teams. I think the Bears had 1 touchdown, and then they ended it with 2 TDs. We only had 1 touchdown and had a lot of field goals. So, But Joey is out this week, as you know, so that's a little disconcerting. We don't have a backup kicker, so I don't know if it's going to be our punter or who's going to be returning, doing our kicking for us this week. It's still a mystery.
Go for 2 every time. Every time, go for 2.
Also, I'm not that concerned because go for 2.
Speaking of going for 2, Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore.
Yes.
They're going to get a lot of attention from Marshawn Lattimore and Janoris Jenkins. Why is no one talking about Curtis Samuel?
Curtis is hurt, but he was a full participant in practice today. So I did notice that. I double-checked before. So Curtis did do a full practice today, according to Panthers wire. So that's good.
All right. One last question. Who do you think is going to be the hot boy for the Carolina Panthers, and what's your expectations against the Saints?
I think the hot boy will probably be that's a good one. Coming up with, I don't know why my mind says Alex, but that's because I kind of know him and because you have the same name as he does, but or he has the same name as you do, but I'm gonna go with Teddy. And I forgot which coach we got from the Saints, but one of our coaches worked with the Saints also. So I say we have 2. And Joe Brady's been pretty on fire, and our defense has been good. And the Saints secondary has been what our secondary was supposed to be. So I'm actually looking forward to this week. I think we actually have a shot, and I'm excited about it.
Jen, let the people know who you are, what you do. Oh, and if you want to, give a shameless plug for Ladies' Night next week.
Oh, yeah, we do have Ladies' Night. I think I'll be debating Miss Carrie Johnson. I'm excited about that. And I work with Unlimited Sports on Facebook, as well as Keep Pounding Nation or hashtag Keep Pounding Nation and 2 states, 1 team, because that's what we are here in the Carolinas, born and raised. 2 states, 1 team.
Carousel, 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 this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock them out. Carousel, 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 this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock them out.
Welcome back to the Carousel, everybody. Your man Eric Wilson here. So, if I'm hosting the show, that some things have changed. And we were expecting to see there to be a Sunday night matchup between Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading out to the Las Vegas Raiders. So Brady heading to the Death Star. Well, as we know, that time has been changed. It is now the game of the week, but it has moved back to 425. That being said, we still gonna have ourselves a little debate here this evening on the carousel. So first, let me introduce the home team, a regular on the show, but we are bringing him back for his second debate, I believe it is, Mr. Phil Jones. Good evening, my brother. How are you, sir?
Hey,
Good to see
Eric,
you again.
doing great.
What's good, man? How you been? Hey, you know what? Take 30 seconds. Let the people know who you are, sir.
I'm the one and only Phil Jones. You guys can catch me on Twitter, Phil Jones NFL. You guys can catch my show out, the Unfiltered Truth. I'm on YouTube. I'm nearly everywhere. I'm on Periscope. I'm on Facebook Live with iSports Radio. And, if I'm out there reporting for some of the college games, hopefully Maryland not this week, but next week, I'll be with Sports Map Radio. So,
hey, man, one love, brother. Do your thing, man. So you know who you going up against tonight. I'm not even going to waste no time or no words. I have self-proclaimed, dubbed this man the big dog. I'm just letting you know because he bring that smoke and he always won it. He is the host of the Carousel, Fantasy and Flavors, Florida Sun Review, and a contributing writer for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Y'all know him, Mr. Alex Fleming. So, gentlemen, we know how this goes down. Look at this. See, this right here is one love. 3 brothers in the place to be. I'm telling y'all, this is what the Carousel is all about. I'm going to shut up and step aside.
Love.
Okay, Alex,
for that boy.
You created the rules. You know what time it is. So as I say, and I'm going to remove myself, hey, big dog, get him. Oops. See, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm so happy.
How the hell you gonna have the nerve to even come and approach Tampa Bay in your own little Death Star? Your empty Death Star. It's more like Spaceballs. Hey, is your offensive line gonna be able to play, considering that Trent Brown's getting everybody sick? He should have brought his lunchbox. Speaking of lunchbox, you need to bring a lunchbox for Derek Carr, because he's gonna be on his ass a lot on Sunday. Did you not see what we did to discount double check? And we actually respect him. Who the hell is Derek Carr, David Carr? I forgot. They kind of look alike. Oh, and Josh Jacobs? Josh Jacobs is going to come down with COVID because he's going to be sick the way that we're going to treat him. He's going to get hit in the mouth like his name is Susan. And I'm not drawing blanks. I'm trying to let you know. We are not the New Orleans Saints. We are the Tampa Bay Bucks. We got a 6-time champion as quarterback. We have a better wide receiver core than you, and our defense is going to punch you in the mouth. I don't even need to take my 2 minutes. You don't have an offensive line, and your defense is a joke. You can pass it to him.
Okay, Mr. Jones. So you see what he had to say. Your 2 minutes, sir, begins right now.
So Mr. Fleming wants to run that yap again. I see. All right, let me go on and educate you, young man. First thing and foremost, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What was that game you guys played against the Chicago Bears? Your boy Tom Terrific couldn't understand what was first down, second down, third down. Do I get 5 downs here? First off, don't underestimate my offense. Just because we got guys out right now, they will be back. If you understand the COVID rules, they'll be back for Sunday afternoon's game, except for Trent Brown. And clearly, we've only had him for 1 game, and we still gotten stuff done. You better watch out for Mr. Josh Jacobs. That little buttercup you got on your defense, what's his name? What's the kid from LSU? I don't know what his name. He's a forget me. Anywho, he's going to get ran over. He's going to get stuck in his chest. You guys don't have speed on your defense to stay up with Mr. Henry Ruggs or Nelson Aguilar. You guys can't even hold Darren Waller's jockstrap. So how dare you come at me with that? You better watch out for this team. Practice? We talking about practice? We don't need that. We going to take care of y'all. Y'all are garbage. You guys went against a fluke Green Bay Packers team that can't do anything with that slow offensive line. So we're versatile with Mr. Tom Cable working with these guys. And I'm going to tell you about this defense. This defense has finally came together. Nick Kiwakowski is back. We got Jonathan Abrams back there. We have Trayvon Mullen back there. You better recognize these boys. These boys will take care of you. And I'm going to tell you this. Kiwakowski is coming for Brady, and he's going to hit him in his chest. he's going to be looking for that avocado fruit.
Woo! Okay, so gentlemen, I need y'all to separate. This is why I came in the middle real quick. I'm gonna need y'all to step aside for one moment. I know y'all ready. I'm gonna let y'all get to it, but wow, ladies and gentlemen, as we always say on the carousel, either you on or you're off. 45 seconds, Alex. You get to rebuttal, Mr. Jones. Hey, get him.
You need to brush your teeth from mentioning Nelson Aguilar. He can't even catch COVID, let alone a damn football. So you need to stop with that. And Nick Tibokowski, the Chicago Bear reject, the guy that couldn't get on the field with the Chicago Bears, and don't worry about talking all that nonsense with the Chicago Bears, because if you guys played them this year, you'd get treated the same. Chicago's legit, unlike that Vegas squad. I forgot, y'all keep moving. Girlfriend to girlfriend to girlfriend. You can't stay loyal. Crosby, is he in the top 10 in sacks? Hell, is he in the top 15? No, he's been missing in action, like all those children in milk cartons in Las Vegas. You guys are spending too much time at the Bunny Ranch to be worried about Tampa Bay. We gonna take y'all out.
And that sound means your time is up, sir. 45 seconds. You know how it is. Anyhow, Mr. Jones, you do get the last word since you are the home team. 45 seconds. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first things first. One, who the hell's your running back? LeGarrette Funk, Blunt, whatever his name is. Is he a has-been? Is he even doing anything for this team? You can't even get anything going with him. Ronald Jones, he's up and down. He's pathetic. Get him out of my face. Your whole entire team. Carlton Davis. First off, the boy's name is Carlton Davis. Old, bad, weak knees. Boy needs milk. You know what Henry Ruggs going to do to him. He going to kill that boy. He going to kill him dead, Harpo. He going to kill him dead. That boy going to be dying on that field. And then you got, Antoine Whitfield Jr.'s son? Oh, Lord. Oh, my tight end's going to destroy him. They going to die out there.
Okay. And, sir, I believe the person you were mixing of it was actually Leonard Fournette. You said somebody else, and I was like, wait a minute, I think he means Leonard Fournette. But we understand what you was trying to say. Phil Jones, Alex Fleming, the Carousel. As we always say, ladies and gentlemen, hey, either you on or you're off.
Yeah.
Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock them out. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. Yeah. Carousel. This the carousel. On or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. Either you're on or you're off. What? Knock them out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Carousel. I just want to get your feedback and your opinion. If you think you can ride on this carousel and you got some NFL talent or at least some knowledge, you know what? Send a note. Carousel NFL on Twitter. Let me know if you're ready for some of this smoke. Oh, and shout out to all of the NFL groups, chat groups, fantasy football community, Johnny Acevedo doing his thing, Destiny Church, that H-Town wheelhouse that brought the MLB to his knees, bringing it to a Game 7 with those Houston Astros. Y'all can fake the funk all you want. That's a talented team. Stop hating. We need less hate, more love. Love to the Unlimited Sports. Shout out to the Florida Sun Review for making me look high as hell. Thank you to the sports YouTubers. Check out the pop-up shop on Saturdays and Fantasy Football Talk on Tuesdays. Oh, and check out my dog Joshua Cole Allen's Audible on Wednesdays and get that football knowledge of breaking down tape from Sports 49. One and only, Blake Anthony. Yes, Blake Anthony is actually doing his thing at the, before I forget, check out Blake Anthony, Sports Talk 49. You can find him on Facebook. Now, with that being said, some of these matchups, 8 o'clock, Seattle, Arizona. Russell Wilson is on an MVP candidate row. Arizona's coming off the basic bye week after destroying Dallas on Monday night. Arizona's not going to have the luxury of having Kyler Murray finish the game at 9 and 24 passing. Seattle last year lost a game that they desperately needed against the Arizona Cardinals, in which Chris Carson and Rashad Penny was injured. And that actually hurt them in their matchup against San Francisco 49ers the following week. So, with that being said, I see Seattle pulling out a small victory against DeAndre Hopkins, Kenyon Drake, Chase Edmonds, Larry Fitzgerald, and the Arizona Cardinals. However, I do see old living legend Larry Fitzgerald pulling out a victory. But then again, that is why we play the game. I really love and wish that we had a Chicago representative so that way we could talk about Monday night matchup, Chicago Bears versus the Los Angeles Rams. Now, to the untrained eye, it's 1-1 because 2 years ago, Chicago beat LA. Last year, the Rams got the revenge and beat Chicago. So, with that, let's just imagine that is something brand new and fresh on the scene. I actually believe that this Chicago squad can defeat this Rams squad, but that's just me. Now, I would love to get an update about Houston, and I would love to get an update about some more teams in the AFC South. Is a Detroit Lions representative in the house? I want to get Detroit in the house. Is Detroit in the house? You know what? Let's give people a minute. Let's see if I can get a Detroit representative in the house, or maybe even a Houston Texan. So, with that being said, if anyone wants to jump in, welcome them on to the carousel. I'm going to see if I can get a Detroit representative.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, sir. You know there is Thursday night football tonight, right?
Yes, but I still have 9 more minutes in the program. What's the problem?
Well, I'm just saying, you talked about everybody else, but did not acknowledge the fact that you actually do have a Philadelphia representative to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles who are actually playing tonight. I just wanted to remind you, I know that the team right now is 1-4-1 and the division sucks, but you still have someone that you could talk to. I mean, I'm just saying, that's just me. But you know what? I'll step aside and let you do you for a minute. You know, I'm just saying.
I mean, we could talk about Philadelphia, New York. I mean, I'd rather watch that than the presidential debate. So you're absolutely right.
Listen, I was just saying, if you need me, I'm here. I'll be honest with you. We suck. It's okay.
What player do you have on the squad that's not on IR that you can actually see benefiting and helping out your team? Because there's no Zach Ertz, no Miles Sanders, and you know how I feel about Carson. So who do you got?
Well, I mean, you have to look at the obvious choice tonight, and that's going to be Travis Fulgham, the man who has stepped up over the last 3 weeks. He made his presence known when we tied with Cincinnati. He made his presence known again in our very first victory against the San Francisco 49ers. And even though we did lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers, it pretty much was him versus Chase Claypool. That was the entire matchup that we saw. Now, listen, last week against Baltimore, when you have El Freaky and Mark Andrews, we tried to make it a game. I'm not going to sit here and say we came close. No, we tried to make it a game. But when you look at the list of injuries that exist within our organization, it's a difficult thing to really get the timing and the rhythm and the chemistry down. Not that that's an excuse, because this whole division just stinks.
Garbage.
Yes, it is. It's basura. I actually thought of something today earlier. So if you will allow me, I thought of a way to make the NFC East a little more interesting. If you take positions, one from each team in the division, you might actually have a promising team. So think about it like this for a moment. And then our man is coming in. You know, all the smoke Mookie Hawkins is in. What?
There's a reason why I didn't want to talk about the NFC East, because, I mean, it's like a soap opera, and I'm too old for that. I can't do it. I'm only watching football tonight because it's the better alternative. Can we please bring in H-Town Wheelhouse? Please.
Fine. Bye, Alex.
How's it going, Alex?
H-Town Wheelhouse, Brett Chauncey, how you doing, sir?
Man, I am doing great. You know, I'm doing better than the 1-5 Texans are right now. I'll tell you that. I'm blessed beyond what I deserve, brother.
Hey, speaking of that 1-5 Texans, I want to talk to you about something. Those 1-5 Texans actually don't look half that bad. Those 1-5 Texans actually look pretty good.
Wait, is it 1-4 or 1-5? Maybe am I getting ahead of myself?
I believe it's 1-5.
Okay,
I think it's 1-5.
I mean, I lose track. I mean, here's the thing. I think Romeo Crennel was the perfect person to come in and kind of steer the ship because he knows the players. The players have been around them. They respect them. But I'm telling you, man, we've averaged over 33 points the last couple games, and I mean, we can still put up 30-something points, but our defense has got to quit giving up 601 yards of offense in a loss. I mean, you can't do that and win a football game.
All right, two things. One, your secondary is suspect. 364 yards and 3 touchdowns. Number 2, Derrick Henry runs roughshod on you guys for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then tell me why I smell upset and you guys beating Green Bay.
Here's the thing. They were actually discussing this on the local radio station about how the Texans actually had a chance because Green Bay has not been playing that great. Although Aaron Rodgers has a couple weapons, they're not the Packers of old. While they are solid, and you give me Aaron Rodgers over a lot of guys any day, and I'm going to choose the W, right? But I think the Texans can do enough to disrupt what they do have and get to Aaron Rodgers, and you still got J.J. Watt. And let me tell you, each week they lose, the more motivated he becomes, and that old body starts feeling young again, and that could cause some problems. Him, Zach Cunningham, some of these young receiving core on the offensive side. This young tight end they signed a few weeks ago, he's kind of stepped up and been big for them. So if the Texans play their cards right, and if they can at least have a decent game where the offense stays on the field, keeps the defense off, they can come out with a win.
Are you upset at the fact that Romeo Crennel went for 2 instead of 1?
No, definitely not. I mean, at least it wasn't 4th and 1 and he didn't punt like Bill O'Brien. I mean, he's going for it. I mean, you got to go for 2 in that situation. Wouldn't you? I mean, wouldn't you? I would.
All right. All right, H-Town Wheelhouse, take 20 seconds, let the people know where to find you. And excellent work with the Astros, by the way. There was some haters chirping Saturday night after the Rays won, but I don't think they're going to. Brett, do your thing. Represent the H-Town Wheelhouse.
Yes, sir. H-Town Wheelhouse here. You can go to Twitter and find me at H-Town Wheelhouse, and find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Brett, you in the house?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Can
I'm here.
Bring in Mookie? Mookie in the house?
Uh-oh. How you doing?
Brett, Go ahead and do your thing so that way Mookie can have the last word. The man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter. You can find me at Strohs411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Strohs. We're going to get that 2021 World Series. Y'all holler back.
Holler back. Hey guys, my phone is just going off right now.
Mookie.
Phone's been going up. My phone's been going off. We ain't done shit in 2 weeks. I don't know what's been going on. All right, I had to I guess they're swirling reports. Okay, that I got on Coach Frazier about him doing his job. I got on Coach Frazier about doing.
Wait, hold on. I don't
All
mean to
right.
interject.
All right.
Wait, let me
Mookie.
make sure I understand this correctly. Mookie, the reports are
Mookie. So you guys lost 2 in a row. Tough opponents. Nobody's judging. Nobody's questioning. You guys got the Jets this week. I picked up the Bills defense on fantasy wise. You know, I'm not stupid. Le'Veon Bell was sold for a bag of peanuts, but he was given away. Thank you, Kansas City, for taking that off their hands. Bro, how bad do you guys beating the Jets this week?
Man, if they don't smell blood in the water, you know, this is another test. Like, Jets is 0-6, but this is another test to see mentally where these guys really are. Are they capable of just, you know, snapping back and just getting back to how things once were? Or do they go forward on the improvements from the last 2 losses and, you know, start another run again? I mean, we understand you want your team to win every game. You want your team to be 16, 17, and 0. We get that. In hindsight, should we that Kansas City game, Coach McDermott has a method to his damn madness to give up that much yards on the ground. And at the end of the day, still had an opportunity really to win that game. If you look at it, I wasn't looking at it from that perspective.
If you get a stop.
If you get that one stop,
yeah, you needed a stop
to win. But do you want to play Kansas City that way? You know what I mean? I would think they would play a little bit more aggressive, kind of something to how the Raiders emulated. But, you know, once again, Coach McDermott has a method to his madness. And like I said, I didn't, you know, they kind of felt a certain kind of way over the questions I asked them, you know, come to find out. But, you know, all is resolved. And, you know, I have the utmost respect for Coach Frazier. I just got to let him know that in the next meeting. But, yeah, I wanted to see some things. I don't want to see us playing zone on the on the 10-yard line.
Mookie?
Yeah,
Mookie?
on that freaking 10-yard line. 3rd and 7. We're playing zone inside the 10, and you still let Kelsey just catch a wide open pass between Poyer and Tre'Davious. Like, who is y'all covering? Like, y'all couldn't just cover the guy, knock up the time and rhythm, and try to force him to kick a field goal. Just give it so easy on 3rd down. We was playing too ultra passive aggressive. How can you play defense like that? You know, so yeah, that kind of ticked me off.
A little bit, I would say. Mookie, hold on. We got to get back to this whole Leslie Frazier thing, because you have been following the Bills and you're a beat report writer. You got the, you know, WUFO Sports TV and 98.5 up there in Buffalo, and you're doing your thing. So you have to tell us and tell the people here on the Carousel, what was that like? I need to know what that interaction was like, because I know it was a Zoom call, but still,
you ain't see it.
being the guy.
I put all the clips up all the time when I'm in the Zoom room.
No, I know. But take us through your emotion, because at that point, you know what I'm saying? Your team lost when they had the opportunity to win, and now you read it better than most people even try to create it. That's what I'm saying to you. You can look at a play and break it down and bring it to the house and make those of us who are trying to get on the Mookie Hawkins level, you just make it so simple for us. And I know, first and foremost, you a journalist. I know that. But it just seemed like this press conference, the fan in you came out.
Yeah, the passion came out into me a little bit, and you know, I gotta learn how to separate between the two. You know, my passion, you know what I mean, and being professional at the same time, it kind of outweighed that, and it kind of outweighed that, I guess. But I guess they kind of caught it off wrong on how I was explaining to my question. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yes.
And I don't know if he took offense to that, saying that, you know, in hindsight, it came across that way. I didn't mean it for it to come across that way. And, you know, like I said, it was a real stink. Like, I'll show you my presser with Josh Allen. And before I go on to speak with Josh like, oh crap, it's Mookie. And looked away. I'm like, wait a minute, what he meant by that?
Yeah.
And then I was told that, you know, I guess the players didn't like me coming at Coach Frazier the way I came at Coach Frazier. Basically, I was just trying to explain, like, well, you know, hey, you know, what's going on? 3rd and 7, we on the goal line, we're playing zone. They basically ran a total for 245 yards. 166 of that was on your guy's sideline. All right, I broke it all the way down like that. 23 carries, 166 yards to the left, which was in front of the Bills sideline. So I made that point. And, I was like, well, in the Tremaine Edmonds, like, I got him 6'6", 250. He's dropping back in coverage. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to figure out how to react to this stuff instead of keeping him aggressive. Like, do y'all going to move him around to make plays, put him on the edge, or Patrick Mahomes, I just told him what Patrick said. Patrick Mahomes said that you guys were pre-snap 6 to 7 yards off your linebacker. So they kept running the ball. So are you going to do anything to be a little bit more exotic with those coverages, to help the defensive line out? I think Coach asked him that question. He's like, well, now you're giving up the scout report. And Coach, he laughed everything off. He laughed everything off. And even to the point where, I asked at the end, I was like, well, hey, make them do some gassers or something for giving up all that yards. Everybody had a nice, good chuckle after it. But in the end result, nobody told me. It was just that Josh Allen reaction prompted me to say, yo, what's going on? Like, why Josh mute me and say, oh,
I got you. So I got to ask you really quick, Mookie, because we got to bring our man Colin in here then. So you got the Jets. We got that. Let's talk about Baltimore, excuse me. Give me your thoughts on Baltimore, because, I need to know where you guys are at as far as upcoming.
Well, right now, it looks like Baltimore is just trying to combat with Kansas City. It seems like Baltimore is trying to keep up with the Joneses, with this Le'Veon Bell situation. So, if we giving up 160 yards to Hilaire, just imagine next time around we'll have to face Le'Veon Bell, or the Ravens have to face that. So you go ahead and get Ndakwe from Minnesota, and, they're trying to get better. We have to see what the Bills is trying to do from that standpoint. There's no doubt in my mind, them playing the Super Bowl champs is showing them that, we don't believe you. You need more people. So hopefully the Bills can get some more people in here before this deadline to change the dynamic of what's going on defensively and in our run game.
I appreciate that, man. Mookie, real quick, for those who may be watching the Carousel for the first time, take 30 seconds. Let the people know where they can find you, brother, and then I'm going to let you ride out, man. Appreciate all the time. Much love.
Anytime, guys. Hey, you can catch me at WUFO Sports. That's WUFO Sports on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Bills World Extraordinaire everywhere. That's Bills_World, WRLD. Coming to you real soon.
Carousel, 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 this the Carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, 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 this the Carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out.
Welcome back to the Carousel, ladies and gentlemen. Having a few technical difficulties with my man Alex. We're going to get him back in here in a minute. But aside from that, let's get our man Colin in here. Colin, welcome back, man. How are you, brother? What's going on?
I'm hanging in there. Just fought some nasty traffic in Orlando, the usual, but doing good.
All right, awesome. So, you know what, brother? Let's talk, because you are our Minnesota Vikings representative, correct?
I guess so.
Hey, I'm an Eagles guy, so I share your pain. Trust me. But let's
you can
talk
still
about
win the division, though.
Hey, from your lips to God's ears, thank you very much. But let's just talk about this, because there was a lot of hype around Justin Jefferson after Stephon Diggs left and went to Buffalo. Kirk Cousins, a man who bet on himself. There was the controversy that existed before the season started with Dalvin Cook and what his contract was going to be like. But it just seems like the injury bug has really hurt the team this year. What are you hearing from the Minnesota faithfuls about, is anything going to be done before the trade deadline, number one? And then number two, what is the outlook for the second half of this season?
Well, according to Rick Spielman, we're not in a rebuild mode, but it's not looking like that's the case. I mean, we pretty much, with the Ngakoue trade, pretty much just traded a second for a third and still got a fifth in 2022, so or 2021 or 2022 or something like that. So, I mean, I think with injuries, with Hunter officially being out for the year, I think Michael Pierce being going out for the COVID was huge for us. I knew it was going to be a baptism by fire with the young secondary. They're going to take their lumps, but I'm still okay with it for now. I think Justin Jefferson's right up there in the Rookie of the Year conversation. He's having a heck of a. I mean, it's weird because I think Minnesota has a really explosive team, but it's almost as though they don't know how to call plays right. Like they'll get a 17, 18-yard play, and then they'll run one right in the middle for a first down, or for a 1-yard gain. So I don't know. I mean, Jefferson's 5th in the league in receiving yards. Dalvin Cook is, I think, 4th or 5th in rushing yards. Adam Thielen, I think, has the most touchdown catches. So it's not as though we can't produce. It's just I mean, I don't know. We don't seem like they have a lot of heart, and Cousins has really looked bad. So I don't know. Think when we might be tanking for Trevor, or we may be going for Justin Fields.
You know, that's the conversation piece that everybody's having now. Which team is basically tanking for sunshine? But you're on a bye this week, so that does give you time for your team to kind of get healthier again and kind of get that timing and that continuity, that rhythm down. But see, right after that, you go into divisional play. You've got the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears. Talk to me about what those 3 weeks are going to mean for the Minnesota Vikings. I'm hoping that it builds up some cohesion. I think you're probably going to see one more trade, maybe 2. I think Riley Reif may be heading out. I think there's some rumors that he may be going to Tennessee, and I could see Anthony Harris possibly going to Dallas. So there's some rumors out there, and I'd like to see some of these young kids get in there. Drew Samia hasn't quite worked out, but we drafted Ezra Cleveland in the 2nd round, maybe putting him over at left tackle and just letting him take his lumps a little bit. And then with our secondary, obviously still staying the same. I don't think we're in full tank mode quite yet, but it's not far off. It's not far off. So last question, then I'm going to let you get out of here because I got to get out of here because my game's fitting to start.
Yeah.
Danielle Hunter out for the season. Talk to me about your thoughts on that and how that's going to affect the Vikings.
I mean, it's hard to not affect the Vikings. I mean, he had 14.5 sacks 2 years in a row. He has the record for most sacks before 26. So, I mean, he's locked up. There have been rumors that they were going to trade him, but I don't see them doing that. Obviously, Hunter's probably the cornerstone of our defense. I would hate to see him go, and I hope that he comes. I think part of the reason why they're not really trying to rush him back is because of the lack of success with the team. I think if the team would have been doing a little bit better, maybe pulled out a win or two in those last couple of games, maybe he would have felt a little bit more of a push. But I think with the team not doing as well, I don't think he feels like there's a lot of pressure to rush any kind of injury that he has.
I got you. Hey, Colin, thank you so much for being on the Carousel, man. As always, take 30 seconds. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, on NFC Elite, and the NFC North Trash Talk. The NFC North Trash Talk division. You have to be a member, but you can get in on it and take a look at it. But I do a lot of smack talking with people from the Packers and the Bears and the Lions. So
of course,
it's always fun.
All right, man. Appreciate your time, brother. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No worries. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Carousel. I'm jumping off right here now because my game's fitting to start. And say what you want about the NFC East. You know, at least it's going to be fun. And somebody's going to do something crazy that's going to be on a highlight reel tomorrow morning. So for my man, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun Review, Fantasy and Flavors, like I said, current contributor for the Jacksonville Jaguars football team. Brother, as always, doing big things. Real quick personal shout out. I got to show love to the National Scouting Combine going to Indianapolis. Hey, all you college athletes out there that aren't going to these big name schools, but you still want your shot. I'm telling you right now, March 8th through the 11th in Indianapolis, go to nationalscoutingcombine.com. Make sure you get your tape up. Make sure you get registered. Your man, Eric Wilson's definitely going to be there. Hey, everyone have a great night. Let's get to some football.
Carousel, 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 this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. Knock 'em out. Carousel, 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 this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off.